Hey everyone, it's Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Mer.
Alright, so this week up on the docket, we actually have nothing.
We have a few blogs. That is a lie. We have literally three
I know,
blogs.
that's a joke, but there is no update this
It's
week.
a
For
prank.
anyone that didn't recall from last week, if you didn't hear the notes that we went over, or if you didn't read them yourself, because of the game jam, there is still no update this week, similar to the last, but there are some blogs we're going to be going over
Hmm.
that they did come out with, and they're jam packed with, a bunch of stuff that we can easily yap about for an hour. So
Yes.
strap in if that's something you're interested in. It is going to be topics such as the run energy changes. This is the open beta numero dos. That's two for all of you others.
Loomer Tway.
And so we're going to be talking about the run energy. Kind of interesting, kind of a lot of math. I haven't read it, so hopefully I'll be able to
I told him there's a
successfully.
lot of math, and I was like, I'm not going to read that.
Hopefully we can successfully navigate it without it sounding boring. And then we'll go
Sounds boring as
into
math.
the Gielinor Gazette, which actually has a ton of stuff we're not going to be talking about that we will discuss, though.
Hmm.
That sounds confusing, but
That
you'll
was a weird
see.
sentence, yeah.
And then the last thing we do have is Project Zanaris. This is a bit of an update for October. For anyone that missed it, Project Zanaris is them bringing old
Private
school private
servers.
servers so that people can rent them out and customize them as they wish. So there's a
Hmm.
bit of an update on that. And that is it. We do have
He opened up
questions.
a bingo board that I'm doing.
Yeah, we do have questions at the end, as per usual. As always, thank you everyone that does send in a
Thanks.
question. It's always fun answering them. And if you want to send in a question, whether it's around about RuneScape, old school, other games, or just life in general, feel free to ask us, and we'll be more than happy to answer.
Hmm.
The best place is going to be discord.gg/boonbape. We do have a questions section. It's free to join, come hang out, and enjoy everything that has to offer.
Yeah. Spotify is also a good one. You can ask questions on there now.
Yeah, they do have a thing on
It's
there.
easy.
There's actually, I think almost every one of the podcast things has like a questions thing or like a comments thing. So
Yeah.
feel free to do any of that as well. But before we get into all that super exciting stuff, Michelle, how's your week been going?
It's good. I'm currently in a bingo, so I want to contribute to the bingo, I don't want to slack. It just started 17 minutes ago. So, one of the tiles is to get like 250,000 woodcutting and I'm AFKing redwoods.
Yeah, you've already gotten 20,000.
I've gotten 14,000.
Oh,
You're looking
that,
at the wrong scale.
no, I was just joking. But
Oh yeah, no,
that's
I've gotten
actually
14,000.
that's
So,
actually a decent amount.
I might be clicking a little bit, but I figure this is like something super super AFK that I only have to look every 5 minutes
Why aren't you
anyway.
just two ticking teaks? That's like
Just
two.
while recording the podcast.
Yeah, or if you two tick mahoganies, that's like 200K an hour. You could almost be done in an hour.
Dude, other people are so good at recording podcasts while playing games. Like anytime that we have guests on, like the XP Ways and Gothic Rest podcast, like they're able to do so much stuff while recording. I can't do that much stuff while recording. I can't
Uh,
focus on it.
I mean, okay.
I've done it. You told me I sound distracted.
No, I was going to say before you get defensive for no reason
All right,
is
sorry.
I haven't listened to other people's podcasts. I don't listen to video game podcasts at all ever. But that being said,
He never joins me on the guest episodes.
whenever I do listen to anyone, like I have listened to people doing podcasts while streaming, funny
Hmm.
enough, and they like stream video games, and it's very obvious.
They're a little distracted.
Yeah, it's very obvious that
I don't really
whenever,
notice.
and not even just video games, but whenever someone isn't 100% locked in to a podcast, at least to me, someone that listens to them semi regularly, it's obvious.
Yeah, I think most people, whenever they do it, they just do AFK stuff.
Yeah.
But whenever we have guests on, even AFK stuff, I can't handle
Yeah.
because I just have a hard time focusing. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing wood cutting. I just dropped some logs. That sounds weird.
Oh.
But this week I had some big things kind of happen. I hit 14,000 Scurious KC.
Nice. You got the pet?
No. So I'm like 500 KC away from the driest. I've just been like really locked into Scurious in part because I just want to know if I'm going to be the driest.
Yeah.
I feel like I know someone has to be, but it doesn't feel like it'll be me.
Yeah, it's like those people that win the lottery. Like, it could never be you.
Yeah. Except for by winning the lottery, I mean going the driest on a rat in old school
Yeah.
RuneScape.
It's like the that one short story about the lottery.
What's the short story?
It's literally called The Lottery.
Oh. Wait, there's a book that I'm reading called The Lottery. I'm gonna by
It's an incredibly short story is the one
oh,
I'm
it's not a
talking
short
about.
story.
Yeah. You've definitely heard of the story. I mean, they made a like animated or not even animated, like a real life version of the short story that's like 20 minutes long or something like
What is
that.
it?
The lottery is
Read the whole
like
thing.
what? What whole
Read the whole
thing?
story.
No.
Story time.
Okay, well, the premise of the story is it's a lottery and everyone picks a, the whole town goes out there. It's a small town middle of nowhere. And the entire story is that they all go out into the middle of town and then they pick a stick or whatever or a number, and if they call it, then you win the lottery. And the lottery, the winner of the lottery ends up getting stoned.
That's this book. Stop. That is this book. It's not a
Really?
short story.
It's
It's
it's a
shorter.
very short novel.
I haven't read it yet, and the only reason I know that's because, oh my god, whenever I read The Haunting of Hill House, there was like a preface to the story, and I was like, oh, I'll read this. It was Spoiler City, man. And
Well,
after I read the book, I was like, oh, now I can finally read the preface. And then it spoiled that. They're like, blah, blah, being stoned to death. And I was like, oh my god, stop.
yeah, why are you reading that?
Because I didn't think it was going to spoil other books in the preface for a different.
Yeah, you should have known. You should have
No.
just read the story and get out.
Anyway, that's what I'm going to read.
That's why reading's bad.
Anyway, I looked and I've done over 233 hours of Scurious. That's if I was getting 1 minute KC. Thousands of those were 2+ minute KCs because I was AFK blood barraging.
Nice. I'm surprised you haven't heard of that story though. It's a very popular
No.
story.
Yeah, it was already spoiled, so I can't be mad.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's.
But don't tell me more detail because I don't know more detail.
I think
He tells me more detail right
getting
now.
upset by being spoiled by like something as old as that is being all like, what? You mean in Mission Impossible 1 he gets away? It's like.
But if I specifically ask, don't spoil, and you spoil me,
Well, there's
that's
nothing left to
hurtful.
spoil.
Okay,
That
then,
is the
yeah.
whole premise of the book.
I swear, if you hit me with a well, also this one part.
No, that is literally that's what I'm saying. Like it's extremely short. Like I don't know how much more the book could be.
Anyway, I got 14,000 Scariest KC. I sent 2 tobs yesterday, and we actually got Justy chest splits. I got 4 mil from that, and I hit 1,000 laps at Apatol, so I'm halfway to that goal.
Nice.
Yeah, we need agility for the bingo, so I'm like, should I do Apatol, or do you think everyone would hate me?
I don't think anyone would care
It's a
because
small team.
yeah, I was like, this isn't a super crazy
They
bingo
don't.
where
They don't have
people
to
would
know.
care.
They don't have to know. Yeah, I don't think I like specifically when signing up for all those bingos was telling people I'm not going to be a sweaty gamer. So
Yeah.
they should expect that of me.
Okay.
But that's what I've been up to, and tomorrow is Halloween, so I am potentially going to be dressed up when we record. So maybe I'll have you put on ears or something, so you're dressed up as well.
Okay.
I don't want to look like a loose boy.
I mean, probably
I don't
not,
want to
but
look like a loose boy.
I feel like that would give me a headache.
Yeah, we'll find something else for you.
Okay.
We'll find something.
Maybe not. Probably not.
And yeah, so I'm gonna dress up at work tomorrow, and if no one else is dressed up, I am going to use sick hours and go home, and maybe never come back.
Oh, that's
'Cause
reasonable.
I have anxiety about being embarrassed.
Yeah, that's super reasonable.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've been up to. What are you up to?
I have not been up to much, honestly. I did get up my. I did spend quite a bit of time mining this past weekend, and I was mining my own business. I actually ended up selling a bunch of like iron and stuff like
Oh yeah,
that.
you actually made gold.
Yeah, I was able to more than double my cash, but I spent 30 grand on a rune pick because I figured if I was going to be mining my own business, I might as well do it more efficiently than an addy
In
pick.
style.
So I went and bought that, and I still have another 30K for whenever I want to buy runes and stuff like that. And so I got my mining, I actually grinded mining from like Thursday all the way until Sunday. And
We had a friend over on Friday because we both had the day off. The entire day Robert was grinding.
yeah,
And my friend, like, I'm trying to get him to play OSRS, and it was not selling him. I was like, yeah, look at Robert. He's clicking a star.
yeah. So I ended up mining a lot, and I was able to get from, I think, around 56 to like 62.
Yay! On free to play, and they only give you half the XP on shooting stars.
Yeah, it is extremely slow. The only reason I was able to get enough XP is because I actually did quite a bit of coal mining as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which is much faster. For instance, I think it's 14 XP
Per rock.
per successful star mining in free to play. and or maybe it's 16. Either way, it's pretty close to 15, which is really low, and a single coal gets you 50.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
significant.
so it is significant, but obviously you're not AFK,
Hmm.
so bit of a price to pay. And for anyone that's wondering about power mining, there is like I think literally a single iron deposit that is possible to be power mined in the traditional 3 point setup.
And you'd want to get money anyway, so you're probably saving everything.
Yeah, I would probably want to keep the iron anyways,
Yeah.
so that's kind of out of the question, I guess. That being said, it's funny because I was saying I was grinding all weekend. I've like kind of ended up putting like RuneScape on like the back burner for a little bit.
I'm
Yeah,
fine about it.
just a bit of a realigning of like what my
Your
interests
goals in
are
life.
currently. But yeah, no, just not playing as much games recently, so I've been focusing on other stuff.
He was
But
studying yesterday. I was
I
like, okay,
was studying the other
crazy.
day. And yeah, besides that though, just kind of like hanging out, listening to podcasts about like science. For anyone that, because we talked about podcasts the other
Yeah,
week,
give a recommendation if you have any.
I've been listening a lot to a science podcast called Ologies, and it's just all about what
Different ologies.
the premise is. The host interviews people that are professionals in like an ology, um,
Zoology.
like zoology, yeah, cosmetology,
Scientology.
no, uh, cosmetology, the study of like the universe, and
Astrology.
yeah, just a bunch of stuff like that. And also a really interesting one, for example, that I listened to, very, different,
Hmm.
a very stark differences between like the types of people. Like one, she had a guest that's a professional like historian of like candy.
Oh, yeah, you told me about
Like she's
that.
a candy
He
researcher.
said it was a very good episode. She was
Very
very
good research.
enthusiastic.
And in stark contrast, another thing I thought was really interesting was another guest she had on that is he's a researcher of near death experiences.
That's so intense.
Yeah,
Ugh.
not like people dying, but like he like interviews and like it pretty much in like is on the forefront of study as far as like people's experiences at death's door, like
Ah.
whether they have been declared dead and come back and had like,
If they had experiences.
yeah, because you
Yeah.
can technically like die and come back and not have a near death experience. He says about like 20% do, the rest don't. And so it's like, but he said it's interesting. I'd recommend listening to it if you're interested at all, because he talks about like how a lot of people, there's a lot of commonalities between like what people see, whether they're extremely young, extremely old, like when they die, they see extremely similar things.
Is it a bright light? Because I
No,
wonder where the bright light even came from.
no. The bright light is because, well, at least he surmised that like because you lose vision is one of the first things you
I
lose.
remember Raniel told us. Raniel's someone that hangs out in the stream, and he works with hospice, and he told us the order that you lose stuff, and it freaked me out.
Yeah, so like it's interesting. Hearing is one of the last things you lose, and eyesight's one of the first.
Hearing's nice, so then you can hear your loved ones if they're there.
Yeah, people say you can hear long after you're dead in some cases, but
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, because you lose vision, it's like they think that it's the closing of the retina where like the outside vignetting
Oh.
like goes dark because you start losing outer vision, and the only thing left is like a small spot in the middle of your eye.
You could tell I'm scared of dying because my eyes are trying to water like I'm gonna cry right now.
One really
Thinking about
interesting
it, it's making
thing
me sad.
is like an extreme commonality among all these people is that the vast majority of them not only do not fear death, but like appreciate it much more.
They realize it's not as scary as it has to be.
No, most people actually end up kind of looking forward to it.
Oh. Sometimes I could think it sounds okay if I imagine it's like going to sleep when you're really tired.
Um,
Obviously, that's ideal situation. Sometimes people die in really traumatic ways.
yeah, luckily, I mean, he said that there is a small percentage of people that do have bad experiences, but the
That would be
vast,
horrifying to have that experience and just know it's gonna happen again.
yeah,
Ugh.
but the vast majority of people he's talked to have extremely relieving
That
experiences.
makes me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah. And that's why they feel more comfortable and end up living life fuller. This is a totally off topic at this point, but yeah.
Welcome to Beth Bape.
Yeah, so that's some of the podcasts I was listening to. Again, it's Ologies with Ali something or other.
Cool. Check it out, guys.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's
If you've had a near-death experience, share with us what you saw.
yeah. I'll tell you about how similar it is to other people's.
Yeah. I think right now I
Um,
was like, I'm down.
no,
Probably
besides
off
that
off
though,
camera.
really, there really wasn't much to talk about in the community this
A lot
week.
of memes.
A lot of memes, a lot of like comic story strip style
Yeah.
memes, which some are much more funny than others, but they're kind of funny, so I'd recommend checking them out.
Yeah, we
One
love
thing
memes.
I did want to bring up though, because I know a lot of people are interested in RuneScape. Who would have thought on this podcast?
Well,
Um,
Bunebape's different from RuneScape.
yeah, but anyways, if you are a fan of RuneScape in any of its iterations, but especially old school, then you might be interested to know that Andrew Gower, one of the
Oh.
co-creators of this game, has long since left Jagex,
Mm-hmm.
long time ago. But that being said, he is pursuing another game that he is creating
Cool.
called Brighter Shores. Think we've mentioned this
I feel
a
like we have
long time
mentioned it.
ago.
Maybe
Um,
that's what we thought the Jagex game was, but it was actually his game.
no, I don't think so.
Separate.
No. It is definitely not under the Jagex umbrella or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's his own game. It is very much different than RuneScape. And some people are still, skeptical because the game isn't out yet, but it should be releasing soon. It did get delayed a little bit.
Every game ever.
Yeah, speaking of which, Path of Exile 2 is supposed to have the beta coming out or news coming out about it like today essentially, but it's been delayed by like 3 weeks.
Yikes.
Um, it is for a good reason, and everyone's fine with it. But yeah, Andrew Gower's Brighter Shores has been delayed, but if you want to, you can go check it out. It's on Steam. They do have like some like little preview of it. I would keep your mind open. It is not like RuneScape or probably most other games you've played, and it still
It's
has
new and
yet.
interesting.
It's yet to be seen whether or not it'll be good. But if you want to support the original RuneScape guy, then you can go check it out or buy it before even playing it
To
if you
be
really
fair,
care.
I'm sure when people are first talking about RuneScape, they're like, that sounds super boring.
Yeah, it's kind of polarizing the things the way he set up the game. Some
Hmm.
people seem to find it interesting, some people seem to hate it, so it's up to you.
Personal preference.
Yeah. But that's it for the community.
Yeah, so we can move on to our first blog this week. That is the Run Energy second beta. They actually did go and edit it on the 25th, so it's a good thing we didn't talk about it last week
Yeah.
because it got changed. So this version, they said that they updated the original blog, which I love when they do that, so we don't have to read it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for whenever we've talked about it before and they re-edit it, and it's like, oh, I don't know, you changed.
Either
But this time it
way,
works out for us.
yeah. I kind of wish they would just do both,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know. At least if they do it separately, we can incorporate it however we want.
That's fair. Right now it works though. I am going to read most of the beginning stuff because there's a lot of math that I'm gonna let you take over for, okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, one thing to keep in mind with this beta is that we are still working towards the same goals as before, being improve the experience for new players so that OS feels less sluggish in the early stages. You're probably feeling that a lot right now.
Yeah.
Improve the value proposition for agility levels so that leveling the skill feels impactful in more scenarios. Consider the impact of these changes on activities where managing your run energy is a means of skill expression or warrants resource usage. We know this last one wasn't overly popular with some players, but still feel like there's a sweet spot where optimizing your movement, potentially allowing you an extra inventory space, does feel rewarding and give players more avenues to improve their gameplay. I worry some people think that that's too good for like Olm and God War Dungeon. You don't have to bring a stamina. Like, I don't know. I can see people being like, that's too busted.
I agree, but also, well, okay, I disagree, but I can understand where they're
Yes.
coming from.
I don't agree with it. I hate bringing staminas anywhere. Whenever I try to do solo raids, I always forget staminas and I'm just walking.
Mostly because I'm thinking like, okay, they include blast furnace. I'm like, all right, if you want to speed up the XP per hour, it's going to cost you stamina. But if it can cost you
Yeah.
less staminas,
You're still gonna have to use it.
then
It's just
that's,
less.
I guess that's cool. A little bit of a reward there.
Blast
But
furnace is tilting.
things like Great Ulm and God Wars Dungeon, it's like I don't really know how much.
Well, Zilliana.
No, I'm saying like the thing is, I'm like struggling to the point where it's all like, if I do this content with 70 agility and if I do this content with 99, there should be an extremely obvious
Yeah,
difference.
I'm very eager that one of their things is saying leveling feels impactful.
Yeah,
I'm like, please make it feel better.
because
Feels like
like
nothing.
it doesn't need to be no stamina,
Hmm.
but like you can get to Ziliana at like 70 agility. That's all you need to climb down the rope or whatever. And it shouldn't be all like, why would I get 99? Because it's the same amount of staminas. That's how it is now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, like the
It's
difference
more
between,
incentive to level up.
yeah, but the thing is, the difference between 70 ranged and 99 ranged is a big difference.
Hmm.
It is huge. I mean, obviously it's a skilling versus a combat, but like still, I get that you want to like make it so there's limits and stuff like that and skill expression, even though I arguably don't think there's really any skill expression outside of like the 5 tick or the 5070 method at like garage door.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
Not
like
gonna lie.
at Ziliana, that's not skill expression. You run around to the corners and attack every like 7 tiles or something.
Somehow I still get hit.
Yeah, I'm like it's. I don't know how much skill expression there is there, but
Hmm.
I guess for Olm there kind of is, but even then, arguably maybe not.
Yeah, if you're skipping and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll start with a summary before letting Robert dive deep into the math here. We
Yeah.
we do want to reiterate that the best way for you to get a feel for these is to jump into the open beta right now. They do include the instructions as they always do. Because as we are saying all this math, you're going to realize I have no idea what this means. Or at least that's what I felt because I hate math.
Yeah, and you do have to be a member to log into the world, but
Oh,
just
you
so you know.
do? I didn't
No.
even. Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
don't?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
for all the beta
Oh,
worlds
yeah,
you
it's
have to be a member.
agility.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, so if you're in a rush, here are some key points if you want to skip the math, basically. Energy regeneration has been drastically improved across the board. Energy drain is buffed in most scenarios. Leveling your agility will allow you to run for longer. In scenarios where run energy drains more quickly, the increased regen should vastly outweigh the increased drain. At level 450, at level 54 agility and beyond, energy is always energy drain is always slower with the new proposal than in the current behavior, even at maximum weight. At lower weights, this breakpoint for always better occurs at much lower agility levels, and the reduction in energy drain rate is more drastic.
Cool.
Like, I don't even really know what half that means. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think they do touch on this, but I still have a significant issue with graceful.
They do talk about graceful. I think I'm gonna mention it right now, actually.
Yeah.
So what matters more than anything is how the stuff feels. It's really easy to get a sense for one part or another in a vacuum, but can be tough to get a sense for how it changes energy regeneration and drain work alongside each other in most scenarios where downtime at the bank or interacting with some objects or walking can drastically change the way your run energy moves up and down. On top of this, we're looking to leave graceful as is for now. So
Gross.
you'll get some weight reduction and a further increase in energy restoration. The Ring of Endurance should result in your energy drain being slower, and stamina pots continue to reduce your energy drain by the same amount that they already do. Want to get into the math for us, Robert?
Sure. Um, also, I think the way graceful should work currently, for anyone that doesn't know, it's going to. So currently, as it is, it reduces your weight.
And the lower your weight, the less energy you use. It doesn't affect the drain, right? It just you use less energy.
Uh,
Maybe?
well, you said it doesn't affect the drain.
Oh, I meant like it doesn't affect the speed of the drain.
Ye-
Wait.
no, I think that's exactly directly what it affects.
What if
It doesn't
I
affect
don't
it.
want to talk about this.
Yeah. So
You just talk.
well, so currently it doesn't affect the drain. I think maybe that's what you're thinking. It only
No one
affects the
knows.
recharge
Okay, maybe that's what I mean.
currently, but as it stands, the new thing is going to make it so that your weight does affect the drain.
Unless you're wearing graceful. Graceful's gonna stay.
No, it
Oh,
still does. It's just that graceful, because it also reduces your weight, will make it so you can run further because of the drain.
yeah.
So, anyways,
We
it's
do have
just
a whole section on energy regen and drain at least, but
well, yeah. Anyways, so the reason I don't like graceful in its current iteration is, one, it does the same thing that it currently does, but just better,
mm-hmm.
which still makes it the go-to option for anything not combat related.
Yeah.
Um,
Even bank standing, I wear it just in case. I'm like,
yeah,
what if I have to run somewhere?
And the only like I just don't think that's interesting because it's still going to be the go-to, like, because the thing is we're trying to fix Fashionscape, right?
I think,
It's because you don't want to just see everyone always wearing
yeah,
graceful all
I
the
think
time.
graceful should be the go-to for doing agility for sure, but not for everything in the game.
Funny enough, I feel like I need graceful for agility like almost the least.
Really.
I mean, if let's
An
say
Apatol, you run out of agility.
in Apatol, you might, if you're running all the way back at Sears, you might, probably not, but maybe. But for instance, like at Relica and at Falador, you'll never run out of energy.
Well, what if you're wearing something like heavy, like Fashionscape?
It doesn't matter.
Really?
There's almost no running at those courses.
I don't know.
But especially Falador, you literally jump off of the roof and then onto the roof 5 steps later.
I love that.
Yeah, so I don't know. And also, I mean, it's the same thing for. It's still going to be the go-to for a lot of things. I think maybe it might be worth it to like looking at each piece increasing your overall run energy.
Oh,
So it doesn't like directly reduce your weight. Again, I don't know how much better of an option this would be, but like they haven't said anything about increasing your run energy,
I think they
except
might talk about it more.
Mod Goblin. Someone brought this up about maybe just increasing your agility skill overall increases your run energy, like the cap over 100. And Mod Goblin actually said that he thinks that might be a pretty good idea, and he like passed it along. I don't know if they'll do it, and I don't know the like entire repercussions, but it just seems like having the graceful still do what it does wouldn't fix anything.
Yeah.
Whatever though.
Anyway, we might get into that. We might not. I honestly, as soon as I read how mathy it was, I got frustrated because that was my lunch. I did not want to spend my lunch reading math. So I
Yeah.
scrolled through it to the bottom of the blog.
Um. So essentially, there's not a ton of math that you really need to know.
It was enough for me to give up
Yeah. So the
having a look.
current formula for the way that run energy works is that it's your agility level divided by 6 plus 8. So this, I'll just break it down and say that this makes it so that you can go from 0 to 100, or rather 100 to 0. Oh no, sorry, this is regen. So 0 to 100,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting for your run to get back. It would take around 12 and a half minutes.
It's a very long time.
At 99, this goes down by a lot, down to 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So it goes from 12 minutes to 4 minutes. So it's a pretty big increase.
I skipped a couple paragraphs, and the new one sounds good.
The new one sounds good because it makes it more, um, more reasonable at the lower end.
Yeah.
So what they're changing is that the end, for instance, if you remember, I just said it's your agility level divided by 6 plus 8.
Yes.
They're going to change it so it's divided by 3, so half as much, plus 15.
Significant.
So the 15 over the 8 is going to make a big difference at the lower levels. And because it's only dividing it by 3, which is half as much as it is now, it'll make it so if you're at a higher level, you'll see an even bigger gain. So this kind of just smooths it out so that at level 1, it feels better, and at level 99, it feels much better.
Mm-hmm.
So with this formula, at level 1 agility, you'll fully regenerate your run energy in 6 minutes and 40 seconds, which is about half
the
of the
time,
time
wow.
that it is now. And it speeds up to around 2 minutes and 5 seconds at 99, which
Exactly.
again is exactly half of what it is now at 99.
A lot better.
Yeah, so either way, this is going to be a buff around the board. This is with 0 weight. Keep that in mind.
Of
Zero,
course.
0 or negative. It doesn't matter. For anyone that doesn't know that, negative is the same as 0. But
The graph looks way smoother.
yeah, so currently there's like breakpoints, like very small breakpoints in agility that like every like 3 levels or 8 levels is where the actual difference will kick in
Mm-hmm.
for your run energy regain. But with the new system, the steps are much closer, so every like 2 or 3 levels instead of like 5 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see another breakpoint and get more energy faster. So in general, it seems to be a much smoother curve on how much return you'll get on XP, or on run energy per level.
Okay.
And this is run energy, again, not
Regen.
drain not energy drain, which is what we're going to talk about right now.
Right now. You're just like lead up.
Yeah, right, meow.
And I'm trying not to zone out with the math. I'm trying so hard.
Yeah, so just main takeaway, your run energy that is getting
Goes up faster.
restored is going up by potentially 100%. So that's pretty good.
I like that.
100% at 99 and pretty much
Basically 95 at one.
yeah, and pretty much also 100% or 50%, however you want to look at it, at level 1 as well.
Man, you guys should have seen us doing math while making peanut butter cookies earlier.
Those are fractions. That's
That
not
was
real
so
math.
frustrating.
That's
For
not real
literally
math.
5 minutes, we had to stop because we couldn't figure out what to do.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about
that's
it.
stupid. Anyways, though, the next big part of this equation, there's obviously two big parts. The, regen, which we just talked about, which is at 100% improvement, over now to energy drain, which is, in my opinion, the much more important part
Yeah.
of this entire thing.
Because you're not probably bank standing that much while waiting.
Exactly. So currently, this is going to be very numbery. There's no way to avoid
I'm gonna
this.
look away. It looks like a lot.
I will try and skip over.
He's already
this.
given up.
Well, I'm thinking about just skipping over it because no one's gonna remember. Oh, it's 65 plus parentheses 90 times
Okay,
weight.
true.
Okay.
Just say what's impactful. So to contextualize.
If you want to know the actual numbers, then you can check them out.
Dude, it's nuts.
It is not extremely difficult, but saying it on podcast does make it sound bad.
Reading it also looks bad.
I'm just gonna skip to the part where they say, "Let's unpack this a little bit." So the base drain rate has reduced slightly from 67 to 65. So it means you'll have a little bit more run just in general. And they're scaling it more heavily with weight. So this is kind of how they originally introduced it as well, is obviously if you have 60 kg on, it's going to drain a bit faster than if you have 1 kg on.
Yes.
To contextualize this, the maximum weight is 64. Even if you have 100, the max is 64.
I didn't even know that.
That's how it always is. Same as how 0 is 0. You can't go negative weight.
Yeah.
With an agility level of 54 or above, this would result in a slower drain rate over the current behavior. And this is what they said
So better for us.
a little bit ago as well. So as long as you have 54 agility, no matter how much you weigh, 1 kg to 100 kg, this is going to be a straight up buff to how long you can run.
Okay.
And they do say all the way down at level 1 agility and 64 kg, your run energy will drain around 15% quicker than it currently does.
I don't really understand why they're making it worse there.
Because at level 1 agility, they want to incentivize you to getting to 99.
Oh, that's fair. So before they were incentivizing gain to mid game. Now they're incentivizing
Before the only incentive was to get your shortcuts, which is
Yeah.
around 70, maybe 85, but definitely not 99.
Now they want you to get 99.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. They make me want to get 99.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it.
as it is at level 1, you're going to feel the effects of 64 kg significantly. It's a 15% nerf straight up. So if you are in Tob with a 60 kg setup and level 1 agility, 1, what are you doing? But 2, also it's going to be worse, just straight up. At 99 though, your run energy will drain around 13% slower. So that is a 13% buff at 99 agility with 64 kg. The difference should feel even larger at lower weight. So if you have maybe you're doing like a void set swap, so you don't have the full tribrid setup, then you're going to feel an even more significant run energy improvement since the multiplier is bigger.
Okay.
So
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty simple, obviously. So this is as long as you have 54 agility, you're getting a big buff. If you have 1, now it's going to feel worse than if you have anything higher than what it should be. So it's
Too long didn't read. Get 54 if you have not yet.
Yeah, that's really it. Is
before the update, so you're not affected in a bad way.
Yeah, you will literally, if you're 54, you literally will not be able to tell a difference. It'll be a buff, but you probably won't be able to tell a difference as long as you're 54. If anything, it might feel better.
Cool.
So that's not even Sears, so you should be able to get that within a weekend. and that's like for people that aren't playing that much.
Yeah, if you're not even trying.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do it in a day if you really
I love
cared.
how sassy you said.
No, I'm just saying
Without even trying.
it's nice because they're not saying like 74
Yeah.
or,
It's actually very doable, very
82.
quick.
Like
Yeah.
that's, the difference between like 50 and 80 is hundreds if not thousands of laps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really generous, I think, of them to start at 54.
Yeah.
So yeah, just get to there. And that, I mean, we skipped over a lot of the math, so check it out if you really care. But again,
No one cares about math.
yeah, no,
No, people do.
most people aren't interested in the nitty gritty. They just want to know that 54 is a break point, 99 is going to feel much better, and 1 is going to feel much worse if you are carrying a heavy load.
Yep. If you're a bank stander, though, like, it's all
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, if you're a bank stander, this doesn't matter. So there you go.
Yeah. They do have some instructions again for how to join the beta world. They advise, we mentioned before, keeping your regular profile whenever you go to the beta world so you can keep doing content that you normally do. I don't know why you'd want to try this beta on Tutorial Island unless you want to see what it's like for level 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, play it on your account. Do what you normally do.
That
Have
being,
a realistic vision of what you're going to be trying it out with.
yeah.
Weird
That being said,
sentence.
it is fairly easy. You just go into the beta worlds section of the settings, convert your save to a beta world save, so you're just bringing your main over, and then you can log into any of the beta worlds. And this doesn't work just for this beta, but for every other beta, including sailing, that I'm sure will happen eventually.
These worlds are 585, 586, 587, 588, and 589.
Yep, and that's it for Ren Energy.
Mostly good.
Much better than what they proposed. For anyone that forgot,
I don't remember, but I remember being like, this is kind of weird.
for anyone that forgot, they made it so that level 1 Ren Energy was really good, which it still is. And this is at 0 weight, but they made it so that the weight was such a factor that even at 99 with 64 kg on, which is like
Oh, it was bad.
pretty much a regular raid setup, it was a nerf.
Yeah.
Like a significant
I remember
nerf.
because we were like, oh, yay, agility. And then we're like, wait, they're nerfing it.
Yeah. So that was the main problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't see the effects really if you're at like Bandos or something like that, but at any of the raids with any fairly normal raid setup, it was worse.
Yeah.
So that's why they changed it.
Looking better.
Yep. Besides that, though, we can move on to the Gielinor Gazette.
Gielinor Gazette.
Gielinor. And honestly, there's a ton of stuff we're going to be skipping over because they do have a lot of words from the team.
I don't know
And-
what they mean by that, but
Yeah.
we're just going to skip over that.
Respect to the mods, but I also don't really like reading everything that they have to say because, you can do that.
They do a little Q&A and CAs with Mod Knox.
Yeah, they
The
ask,
QA.
it is interesting
words.
if you like this content. They just are rehashing like their opinions on things, which if you are interested in that, check it out. Mod Arcane has something to say about Araxor, Kirby about the new Wintertown improvements, and Mod Knox goes into very much detail about all of their different experiences with their favorite CAs. Obviously, Mod Knox does the QA for a lot of the combat achievements, so all the
They're the ones
questions.
that have the GM as well, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Gamer.
all the questions relating to that, he does answer a plethora. So you can check that out if you care to.
Moving on, though, to what Robert wants to read about.
Yes.
That is the miscellaneous project updates. So our nudist?
Our nudist roadmap.
Our newest roadmap includes a big old section right at the bottom dedicated to miscellaneous updates. With all the excitement around Varlamore, the Rising Darkness, and the Summer Summit, we haven't yet had a chance to talk about any of these. So we tracked down some J-mods for the inside scoop. And these are some things that we brought up recently. I don't know
Yeah.
if you read these.
No, I kind of glanced at them and I thought they were very interesting. So we're
Yeah.
going to skip the top one, which is Ren Energy. We just
spoke about that.
yeah, spent 30 minutes on that, so we can move on. But the next one is probably one of the most complained about things in the entire community's history of all
Is
time.
it really? I don't
is-
do DT2 bosses that much.
Chromium ingots.
They're from DT2 bosses, right?
These are from DT2
Yes.
bosses, or supposedly. Some people have still never seen them. So, specifically, they're addressing the time-consuming process of obtaining enough chromium ingots to craft the 4 ancient rings. Although we really like them as an incentive to keep battling those bosses, we're aware that actually obtaining these can take some time. Instead of just removing chromium ingots altogether, we'd actually like to add them to more activities, PVM activities.
I don't even know what that means.
What do you mean?
Adding it to more PVM activities. Like
Just more
mobs?
bosses or something.
Yeah, I guess.
However, this long-term plan doesn't address your immediate concern, so for now we'd like to introduce an NPC. This was really exciting to a lot of people. So for now, we'd like to introduce an NPC who will create the rings for you at a cost. This allows Iron Man to bypass the chromium ingot requirement, which is disproportionately difficult for them because they simply can't buy the ingots in the first place. Cost-wise, this option won't break the bank, but it'll be more expensive than the GE.
Yeah, because they're not worth much gold, right?
They're not. So
It's just weirdly rare.
yeah, let's look up, dude. So let's look up Vardorvis.
Or Dorcas, more like.
What what do you
Ah!
think the drop rate is?
I don't know. I didn't think it was that rare. Like 1 out of 100?
Bro, I wish.
What is
These are
it?
some of the most absurd drops. Yo.
Okay, uniques right here. 1 out of 362. And it's worth 100K.
Yep, 1 out of 362 for these bosses that, I mean, they're not that quick of bosses. And
Yeah,
the
I
thing
still
is,
haven't gotten the Elite 10 for Dorvis. It's so embarrassing.
if you only needed one, that wouldn't be that bad.
You need several, right?
You need 3
Ugh.
per ring.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's more common at other ones. So Whisper, it's 1 out of 170 because Whisper takes 6 minutes to get a KC.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating slightly.
Okay, so for instance, if you wanted to get it from the fastest boss to get it from, which is the Whisperer, or at least the one with the best drop chance,
Yeah, I was like-
rather, it's 170 times 3,
Ew.
assuming you go on rate.
Yeah.
So that's
Which you probably
500. Yeah, that's 540 440 for a single ring. Wait, is it 3?
Do not math with me right now. Again?
3. Yeah, no, it's
I hate
510.
this.
510. Sorry. So 510 for a single ring. That's a
Give me
lot.
break. Yeah, no, it is a lot.
Even if
didn't-
they're 1 minute KC, which I know they're
I
not,
didn't realize they were only 113K.
they're worth nothing.
They are worth nothing. That's
So
crazy.
this is strictly an Iron Man problem. I get that, but also this is obscene.
Yeah. This is one of those things that they you'd think would have changed it. So they only needed one a long time ago,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
Like I know a lot of Iron Men that have 1 ring.
Yeah.
Like they've done the
One
entire.
ingot.
No, like 1 ring. Like
Oh.
they've done all the grinds at all of the bosses for like the axe and everything, and they have 1 ring. So it's
Because
like,
they can't get the ingots for the others.
yeah. And if you go dry, bro, you're not getting the other rings.
Yeah.
That's just straight up. You're not.
I think it very much counts on you getting it at the exact right drop rate to have 3 by the time you get the ring. Which
Yeah.
no one's getting everything at the exact right drop.
Oh, and I
Right.
forgot to mention, this isn't even. That's. I forgot to mention, this is even dumber.
Not the.
Because, for instance, if you wanted to get the Bellator ring,
Mhm.
best in slot ring in the game, right? For melee.
I wouldn't know.
Well, this is the warrior ring. Let's say the Ultor ring, which is the berserker ring.
Oh, that's the best to me.
So the berserker ring would require you to go.
Ultra ring.
The Ultor ring would require you to go and get it from Vardorvis, which is, in and of itself, not too bad. It's 1 out of 1,000 essentially.
Yeah.
Or not 1 out of 1,000, but you'd have to kill him 1,000 times for all 3 ingots.
Yeah, and you have to kill him 1,000 times to get the ring, the
Yeah,
vestige.
I was about to say you'd also have to get the ring, the Ultor vestige, which
That's what I'm
is a 1
saying.
out of 1,000 drop as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really count on you getting the drop rates exact, which is not likely.
Dude, I don't think they even do that, because if you went on rate, then you'd have to get. I mean, does it calculate it where that like in the 1,000 KC that you're supposed to get the ingots, are you also supposed to get the vestige? I don't know how that like the math works there.
I don't know. I also didn't realize that Virtus is rarer than the pets.
Virtus is very rare.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Virtus is very rare. But that's also for a specific Virtus item.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
a
that's
much
true.
it's a much higher chance if you're just going for any Virtus
This
item.
is specific. It's a 1 out of 3,200.
Yeah. Also, what's extremely annoying is to receive the Ultra Vestige, the player must
Oh,
roll
yeah.
an invisible 1 out of 362 drop on the tradable unique table.
2 times.
and the 2 rolls will cause a standard non-unique drop to appear.
We've spoken about this before. You need 3 strikes to get it, and your first 2 strikes are invisible, and you never know when you get them.
Yeah.
So you just never know if you've actually made progress to getting the ring.
I mean, this would
It's
be
weird.
this would be similar as if like they're all like, all right, you have to get 3 sets of BCPs, Bando's chest plates, in order to get the actual one. But the first 2 you actually don't see. You get them, and they're included in your drop rate, but you just don't see them.
It's weird.
And then you have to get the third one for the actual BCP.
We've spoken about this before. I feel like it should drop something not expensive, like something that only drops when it would be that, like maybe a random seed. So like, oh my god, I just
Yeah.
hit one of them.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Yeah, it
It's
doesn't tell
very-
you. It doesn't tell you.
It doesn't tell you. So if you're going, you don't know if you're going dry.
Yeah.
You
So,
have no idea.
If you get to a little over 1,000 and you don't have the full Ultor ring by then I guess you're
Yeah.
going dry. Who knows?
Yeah, but you're like, maybe you've already had your 2 strikes and you're just waiting on
Yeah.
the third. Who knows?
Who knows? It's easily
strange.
one of the most dumb systems in the game.
I don't love it. They are trying something new, and I don't think they should ever try it again.
Yeah, people haven't liked it since its conception.
I thought they'd change it.
People haven't liked it since forever, and even still, it's one of the most hated grinds.
I don't think that they're gonna ever do that idea again.
Hopefully not, because I mean, they even said that it sucks so bad they're removing it from the game essentially.
Yeah.
They said they're not removing it but by adding this NPC they are.
Oh, I meant the rings invisible drops. They should also do that.
Yeah, but I mean the ingots are really dumb. The invisible drops also really dumb. They should just remove all of it from the
Inclusion,
game.
everything's stupid.
Or I mean, rework it so that people don't absolutely hate it.
Yeah. Next up,
Yep.
missing POH tellies. So this is regarding the Portal Nexus. We know people have been clamoring for even more glowy portal goodness is how they describe that. The hope is that we'll be able to add portals to more exciting locales, matching the vast array of teleportation options that already exist in game. Which I've thought about this recently. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird that there's not tellies for a bunch of these places.
Yeah.
It hasn't been updated. This work is by no means the top of the priority list, but it is something that they are thinking about for future quality of life polls.
I
So
think
keep in mind.
because there's so many, I mean, construction's been around a little while.
I think they should add something else.
That being said, I think construction has been around long enough and the game has been updated enough that they should add more ways to have multiple teleports in your house besides the Nexus.
I was gonna say they should add a Quetzin pen where you can keep
Sure.
your little Quetzal.
Yeah, I was thinking like, well, they could expand that. They could have like a minecart system, or they
Yeah,
could
like your
have
dungeon.
the eagle system in the house.
Maybe people would actually use the Eagle system.
I was also thinking of like portals besides the Nexus that can go to multiple places. Like maybe you can like
Maybe
buy
a
like
themed, like a Varlamore one.
maybe you can buy like or construct like a tri portal that you
Mhm.
can switch between like 3 locations. Because as it stands, you have to have the portal Nexus and you have to have it fully upgraded in order to
Mine's
go
not.
everywhere in the game. And the thing is,
There's a lot of places missing.
there's so many places to teleport now.
Yeah, the Portal Nexus is nice, but yeah, it'd be nice if they added another mechanic. I know they already have regular portals as well.
The regular portals, my only problem is they only go one place.
Yeah, I think we basically just need another Portal Nexus to add some more pizzazz because the list gets very long.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if you go from a fully decked out house and to not a fully decked out house, it's very obvious when you don't have like the small things.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have a constant teleport to Zarek's Honor, you'll notice.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have one to Fossil Island, you'll notice. And then once you do like grinds like Barrows, you're all like, all right, this is going to be such a long grind. I'll invest the runes for this for a portal. But
You can make a Barrows portal.
yeah, you can make a portal to anywhere you can teleport to.
Huh.
Yeah, but like if you're like, oh, I go to Carol's, I go to Carol, I don't,
I
whatever,
say Carol.
whatever the wilderness one is. I go there sometimes, but not enough to invest the things, so I'll just like take the L. So it kind of disincentivizes you to make portals because they're so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had like a tri portal, then maybe that would be like cooler, I guess, or maybe reduce the cost. There's also that like situation, but
Okay.
I don't know. It just seems like there's so many places to go, and the only answer is the Portal Nexus.
I like having different variety. Like we have all the different. I'm sure a lot of people think it's annoying because you have to click more, but we have like the jewelry box,
Yeah,
like the multiple different areas you could go to. It shouldn't all just be one thing.
yeah,
Yeah. And I like the idea of a Quetzin area. I think it's
true,
very cute.
true. Yeah, I guess my only problem really, it wouldn't really even be such a problem if the Portal Nexus was the only thing. If the Portal Nexus had like a lower requirement, I
Is it
guess.
really high? Oh
It
yeah,
is
because
very
I only
high.
just recently was able to make the biggest one.
Yeah, it is very high. And if
Yeah.
you want the biggest one that has all of the portals, it is, almost max.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Kind
definitely want more tellies though, because I love tellies. So
yeah.
I'll take what I can get.
Kind of like them though. It's not at the top of my list. It just would be nice to rework some of it.
Agreed.
The next thing though, something that
We were
everyone
just talking about this.
has been looking forward to
Kind of.
for kind of a long time because Guthix Rest has, or Guthix
While Gothic sleeps.
while Guthix sleeps.
We're obsessed with the podcast.
Yeah,
Go
no,
listen to
I was thinking about the tea. So while Gothic Sleeps has been out for some time, and they haven't said anything about God alignment prayers, which was supposed to be a reward from that quest for some time.
I'm glad they didn't make it a reward because, yeah, they even say here, like, we are not ready.
Yeah,
It would not have been good.
yeah, kind of obvious. But anyways, they go on to say that they were first pitched all the way back in March as a way to show your affinity with the gods of Gielinor.
I didn't realize it'd been that long.
Yeah, so through specific themed prayers is how they were going to do it. However, it became clear that you weren't ready for this initial offering, and ready meaning they sucked and everyone disliked them. I like how
I think there's some that were okay.
the way they spun that was really gross. So
Yeah.
I said it the way it was actually supposed to be said.
You weren't happy with this,
Yeah.
blaming us.
We're no closer to having a reworked design to share with you, even though it has been like 7 months.
I think this is just so not on the top of the mind.
Yeah, they clearly are not doing
Yeah.
this right away. The key issue is that although we have a couple of alignments in mind that we feel would work well, expanding that to the full Gielinor pantheon is much harder. Remember, they did plan on adding this to things like Zeros, Bandos, Zamorak,
Armadillo, all the
Armadillo.
gods.
So that's what they're talking about. Overall, prayer still lacks some high-level rewards, and how we tackle that is very much an open question. We don't have a date for when we'll revisit prayer, but we know there's a demand for new prayers, and we do want to revisit them in the future.
New prayers are very hard for me to think about because I don't know what sounds like it would make a good prayer.
Yeah, I honestly don't really feel too bad about them saying that they're not working on it. My main issue is the fact that they pulled this like 6 months ago and then just never gave us an update. Especially the
They
fact
just update
that
once.
they didn't give us an update saying that they just straight up weren't working on this and don't plan on having it anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that sometimes they just forget to tell us things.
Yeah. In their
Because we
poll,
brought it up a couple months ago. We're like, what is we thought it was gonna happen during the summer summit. That's
Yeah.
why.
like they should have at least been all like, in the poll would have been the best, but they should have at least been all like, oh,
In the future.
this is something that we plan on working in the very distant future,
Mhm.
but we want to incorporate, and would you like this?
I think they were so hyped about the idea. They're like, heck yeah, let's do it. Everyone votes yes, let's go. And then they're like, oh my god, this is way more than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And they realized we should work on other stuff first.
Yeah. It's just, it's not like
They probably should have updated sooner than this though.
it's not like a big deal because I obviously want it to go out better than worse.
Yeah.
But also it's been so long they're trotting the line of like, oh, it's not lying if I don't tell the truth type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like,
Omitting the truth.
yeah, it's like, just tell us that we're not going to see this for a really long time because people are going to be expecting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played this game long enough that I knew they weren't working on this because if they were,
Because you're a little hater.
they'd hype it up like 8 months out because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But when they don't talk about it for 8 months, you just have to assume it's not being worked on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my only qualm with this.
I just can't imagine new prayers. I've said that since they first brought it up. I think I'll like it, whatever they do, but I cannot imagine it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's good. I just don't see it happening. Based on them saying they haven't worked on it at all,
It's a while out.
I feel like it wouldn't even. It would be a divine intervention if it came out next year.
Yeah. Next up is Scorpia's Unique, which I think we all forgot about as well. This, to be fair, was a smaller thing.
Yeah, not just Scorpia's. I don't even know what they talk about, but not just Scorpia's unique. Scorpia's reworked drop table was teased like an
They
eternity
they
ago.
updated Chaos Ellie,
Yeah.
but I don't know why they didn't update Scorpia. Anyway, so it's been more than a year since we last asked you for suggestions regarding uniques from the wilderness's favorite arachnid, and we'd like to sincerely apologize for how long it's taken us to make up our minds. Is a scorpion an arachnid?
It's probably like in the arachnid family, right?
But why
But
would they say
it's
it's the favorite when Venenatis is in there too?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Also, they're probably like
Weird.
arachnids in the same way that like I don't know, like how rodents are related, like a rat and a capybara.
Yeah.
They're technically
Well, I think capybaras
rodents.
are my favorite rodents.
I know, but I'm still like they're
Zanaris?
both rodents, but like are they really? I mean,
Yeah.
like come on, no one's gonna call
I
a
just think it's
capybara a
interesting to
rodent.
throw Venenatis under the bus like that. That's all I have to
Yeah,
say.
that is kind of weird. That it felt like a little backhanded, especially because I think most people are way more familiar with Venenatis.
It seems like someone who typed this probably forgot Venenatis existed,
Yeah,
which is more likely.
and also ours. All right, I'm gonna put this whoever wrote this on blast right now.
Don't.
Are scorpions
Arachnids.
arachnids?
He's not using my keyboard.
Uh,
They are clade within the pulmonate arachnida. Those with book lungs. What did I just read?
what the heck?
They are predatory
Yes.
arachnids.
Scorpions are arachnids, according to multiple sources.
Dang,
Apparently.
they said, frick you, Venenatis. I hate you.
I know, yikes. Okay, dude. Arachnids include most spiders, ticks, and mites. All right.
Mites are my favorite arachnids.
That's quite an expansive list.
Anyway, we're currently thinking about adding blighted overloads to Scorpia's loot table. Oh, I do remember, because that was going to be overloads or new. Yes, they'd be new. Some of you may not have noticed that we've already had a dry run of this update in this year's Deadman mode, which is why chitin is one of the key ingredients. It was clear this proposal would be very welcome, so we're waiting for an appropriate poll to discuss it in greater detail.
Again, bro, you can't just not mention something that you like said was gonna happen for over a year. Like
I don't know. And the way that they said it, bro, did the drop table get updated and we just didn't get the new unique?
the thing is, like,
Because they're mentioning chitin, and I'm like, what is chitin?
when stuff like this, yeah, you have to look up OSRS for sure.
Oh, here we go.
Whenever stuff like this happens, because like a lot of companies in general, and like especially departments, they have like a whiteboard or like a maybe like a Trello board of like things that are on their radar. I'm just wondering, like, how does something that you said was gonna happen just get so far down on the board or so lost
It
in
is
the weeds
interesting.
that you don't even talk about it in any of the other Gielinor Gazettes
Yeah.
that we've had for months.
I forgot that was even a thing that they were like, you guys, that's something new.
Yeah.
That was so long ago.
The only way people remember stuff like this is whenever it comes up on the subreddit and someone's all like, yo,
Yo, what happened to this?
it's been 429 days
When are
since
we
they talked
getting-
about this.
When are we getting the Guardians of the Rift in quality of life?
Oh, never.
Hello?
Never, dude. Don't wait on that. That's for sure.
Anyway.
They don't even mention that here.
No, they don't. What they do mention,
Okay.
we can just skip the Scorpia. The rest of it, I have nothing else to say.
No, yeah, Scorpio's done. House on the Hill shortcut.
The Haunting of the House of the Hill.
Yikes. Something else they mentioned 100 years ago.
I don't even remember them mentioning this. Wait, I do.
Yeah, you do.
'Cause I saw
Everyone does.
Zipline.
Yes.
That would've
So
been cool.
this is for birdhousers on Fossil Island. So if you enjoy birdhouse runs, then you'll very much know the mushroom teleports on Fossil Island. They originally pitched this House on the Hill shortcut as a speedy agility shortcut from getting down to the boat from the House on the Hill on Fossil Island.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be a zip line, but it turns out making such a thing look smooth and elegant is harder than expected. It's not like they already have this in the game.
They have a zip line in the Worm Agility. This was written a long time ago. I don't believe that.
This meant that we needed a fade to black cutscene.
You're lying because you have it at Worm Agility.
The thing is, yeah, I don't know.
And I've zoomed in and I watch it and I'm like, this is such a cool animation.
Yeah. So they needed the fade to black cutscene to make it work. Your feedback has shown us that you're still up for some ziplining fun, so we're committed to getting you one, cutscene or not. We know that when it comes to finding love on Fossil Island, you're really just there for the zipline.
I don't Is that supposed to be like a Love Island
I have
reference?
no
I don't
idea.
get it.
Carabiners at the ready will be sticking the landing on this one in an upcoming quality of life poll. Don't worry, it's only been like 1,000 years.
I forgot about the zip line. It will be nice if we get it.
Yeah, I guess
If
so. Everyone's gonna be 99 hunter by then, but whatever.
I got 900 since then.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
do bird toss runs anymore. Next up, PvP arena matchmaking. Matchmaking is one of the biggest issues in the PvP arena and has been for some time. We talked about this the other week.
Yeah.
We've spent a long time investigating the underlying problems and working out how to solve them, and we're pleased to announce that you should already have seen a new and improved matchmaking system with last week's game update. They didn't actually do anything else. Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, you could tell I did not read that sentence earlier.
Yeah.
It's been updated.
Yeah, it's
That's
been updated.
humiliating. I clearly skipped that
You're
paragraph.
like, we talked about
today.
this last week.
I clearly skipped this paragraph earlier. Continue on.
All right,
What?
so another thing, this is just a list of things that they
This
have
is the second to last. We're almost done.
very much pushed to the wayside. Forestry.
Huh?
So,
Part 3?
Yeah, I know, right? No, so everyone knows that forestry absolutely got gutted throughout the process of tuning, tuning it.
Do you
whatever.
remember how busted it was in the beginning? Like
Yeah,
every 1
it
minute.
It was funny because like it was very good, and then they shot it a million times, and we're like, why aren't people playing it? But anyways, so the
It was
forestry.
a little too good at first, to be fair.
The thing is, I think once they toned down the world hopping, it was in an okay place, and then they like literally just like got the biggest grave and threw it down there. Anyways, so the skill expansion was significantly adjusted after launch, primarily to reduce the amount of extra stuff players needed to enjoy, while ensuring that there was plenty of room for normal woodcutting between events. We also took steps to ensure that forestry retained its community skilling vibes by reducing the need to world hop. These changes were broadly well received. What? But as time passes and more new activities
They meant
enter
the
the
first
game,
of the updates, to be clear.
yeah,
Were well received.
hopefully. So they say that as more new activities are entered the game, we're seeing a drop off in the number of people doing forestry. Wait, what new woodcutting thing has entered the game?
Yeah, they just said people are gonna go do other stuff. They're done woodcutting, I
What
guess.
new? Wait, what
There's nothing
new
new.
woodcutting thing has entered the game?
We got new teaks in Varlamore.
Shout out to whoever writes this, because I feel like
didn't-
whoever wrote this is the same person that like lies in other ones.
I will defend them. They didn't say they added new forestry or woodcutting. They just said new activities in general. They meant Araxer.
Okay.
Everyone's leaving forestry to go to Araxer.
All right. I mean, either way, that's cool. They're just admitting that forestry is so terrible. The only reason people did it is because it was new, which is also
I did
just
it for
as bad.
collection log. Also,
It's-
I think that the events at forestry are genuinely pretty fun,
I mean, okay.
but they don't spawn enough.
Yeah, I was like, you might think that, but yeah, the frequency is so low that
It is
even in
very
an optimized group, people still think it's low.
Well, they are rebalancing it.
Yeah.
Not how I'd expect.
It's almost like people said to do this right after. Crazy. This is completely normal.
Oh, for there to be a drop off.
What? I mean, okay. But it does mean that we have to rethink about balancing the rate of event spawns to compensate. Additionally, we're buffing drop rates to make up for the new lower frequency of events, which should help you fill out your collection log. You can
Why
expect forestry questions in the next quality of life poll.
Why don't you just make events more common instead of
Boop, 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 boop.
buffing the drop rates?
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not what I want to see changed. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I just want more events.
The thing is, they nerfed it too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. It was immediately obvious to see
Yeah.
that they nerfed it too
People
hard.
loved Forestry Part 1.
Yeah. It went
Well,
from like
I loved Forestry Part
it went from like a little too rambunctious of a community event
to
to
like a dry Saharan desert.
to then they toned it down to be a community event with a lot of XP, and then they toned it down to just be a community event, and then they're all like, they toned it down so much that they're all like, all right, this is no longer a community event. If you are the sweatiest, then this is probably worth it for you. And then everyone's like, no, it's not. We're all in group like channels coordinating this as best as possible, and it's still barely better than going to the woodcutting guild.
I like Forestry. And
Yeah.
I wish events were more common. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. It's just
Well said.
It's laughable. It's been out for many months at this point,
Like a year,
and
probably.
they've left it in this state where only the absolute min maxers of the skill actually see it being worthwhile,
Yeah.
which is not how it was
Or
intended.
collection loggers like me.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully you'll be able to just go chop woods after, or just go able to chop like maples with some friends after this, and it not feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it currently does.
Next up, last thing on here is Ancient Scepter. So we are fixing a bug that existed since we introduced Blood Bark Armor. That was been like 12 years ago. We know that Ancient Scepter's blood passive has been bugged since then because we've discovered that the source of the bug is in the Bloodbark's code. When we introduced the Ancient Scepter, it was hooked into the same lines of code, so inherited a bug we didn't even know existed. It's like its little grand bug. Oh, that's cute.
That's what they call you.
We have now gone to the bottom of things, and it should be fixed in the very near future. That's it. There's more paragraphs, so I thought it was related, but it's just
Nope, that's it.
We'd also like to hear your answers to the following questions. You guys should answer us and not them because we're mad at them.
True.
What's the scariest thing you've ever done in old school RuneScape? Tell us. Sorry, I'm not trying to start drama with Jagex, actually. I know you are at all times.
I just speak the truth, brother. All right, so we are back. It is the next day.
It's Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I'm a scarecrow.
It's pretty obvious what I am.
Yeah.
And so, you have any updates from yesterday?
I could see your little mustache hairs sticking through though.
Well, okay.
funny.
I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
cannot wait to
but,
wash my face. I wore this all day at work and it feels gross. I'm
Yeah.
already breaking out, so I don't know why I put like 8-year-old makeup on my face, but here we are.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have any updates either, so we can probably move on. Oh, I saw a little something that I thought was cool.
Are you being able to read it?
No, it was just the thing I told you about earlier. It was just
okay.
that someone was able to like hold on, because for some reason, I don't know, people like, obviously if you've played the game for some time, you notice that like randomly the price of items will like go up and go down.
Yeah, the scythe was 350 mil and I got it. Now it's like a full bill more.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking earlier, I was like, I should have bought a bunch of scythes. I didn't have that gold. Who am I kidding?
I just thought it was kind of cool. Someone was able to like long time like invest / like merch 20,000 granite malls. I mean, they're not going to sell immediately, but they're able to make like turn it from 700 mil to like 10 bill.
Holy moly.
It's kind of a lot.
That's ridiculous.
But I mean,
time to sell the account.
Yeah, making calls like that, it could have gone down. I mean, I don't know why it would ever go up.
Jesus.
Like, no one knows why it went up another
I
like
know.
couple $100,000.
It went up like 500 more than it used to or something.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. If
Yeah.
you're interested in stuff like that, they do have like a flipping like OSRS subreddit for that. So
Robert made a video on it like 4 years ago. It's
yeah,
probably not relevant anymore because that was before GE taxes, but watch it.
yeah, flipping is really easy. I'd recommend if you
Never liked it.
get into it, just do a few items. Try to be diverse, but like also try to just do like a few items at a time. If you try to do
Yeah.
like a bunch without being super familiar with it, I think you can easily lose money. But it's pretty easy.
Okay. With that, we can go into the Zanaris. I don't know. I scrolled down. I don't know why I did.
Project Zanaris.
Project Zanaris October update. I am going to be reading everything because I don't know if Robert has the most readability.
Well, maybe. Anyways, for anyone that doesn't remember what Project Zanaris is, it is essentially customized worlds that you can rent out from Jagex and then do with them kind of what you will. For instance,
Private servers.
Yeah, they're private servers. So if anyone's not familiar, like
Not your hand itching your face right now.
you can have like if you want it so that anyone that makes an account on the world or joins the world, like you like pretend have like 50 of every single stat.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can never go up or ever go down for whatever reason. Maybe it's like a PvP world and you just want everything to be 50. Who knows? Whatever. It's your idea, so you can do with it whatever you will. But
yeah, we're gonna go into some of the ideas.
yeah, so
I don't
that's
know
kind
if
of
you read
interesting.
this.
No, I didn't read any of it.
Yeah. So we have been working on, this is just the progress update, by the way. We've been working on two of the most important features, the world creation screen and player list. The world creation screen is something any budding host will want to get familiar with. So after accessing Zanaris through the Jagex launcher, you'll arrive in the Project Zanaris portal, your hub for everything community servers. Whether you are hosting or playing, this is where you will join worlds. And
Oh,
then
that's
it's like
kind of
a
lame.
pretty basic looking, right?
I kind of hate that it's a separate thing.
It's not in. I
Yeah.
almost thought you'd like be able to like click a world, but I guess that wouldn't make sense either.
Yeah, I kind of hate this, but
It's interesting.
y-
So,
yeah, I guess so. It's because like whenever you think of like, or at least whenever I think of like other games that have like custom worlds, my first thing that I ever played had custom worlds, which is Counter Strike,
mhm.
and you could like, for instance, like a really popular game mode was there was actually like a server that had like a Warcraft mod on it, so you can like pick the quote unquote class. This is like Counter Strike, so you're shooting people, and you can pick the quote unquote class of like I don't know, like a berserker or something, or like an orc or like a night elf or something, and it's all based on Warcraft the game. But like you could do it all. You could like go to this server the same way you go to any other server. So like it would be the same as if like this was just in your world selector.
That's kind of what I thought it would be like.
That's what I thought.
I mean, it makes sense that's like this though.
I guess so. I think they should just have like a separate panel in game. So like whenever you go to choose,
Like kind of like the beta. Well, no, the beta worlds are different.
no, like let's say you go to like the worlds panel, you know, it has all the worlds 1 through whatever, like 500 and whatever. And then like maybe there's like a separate panel called like the like community worlds panel,
Oh
and then it
yeah,
would just have like 1 through 500 or whatever. And then it like they would have like custom names or whatever they're about. You could
yeah.
like go and explore them.
That'd be kind of cool.
But no, that's not what they're doing.
The different thing's kind of weird. Who knows? It could change. This is still very early.
Yeah, yeah.
So for host, the world creation screen is where you'll fire up your server and adjust its parameters. There'll be plenty of options to choose from, so each parameter is categorized so you can find exactly what you're looking for. You'll also be able to change your world settings after creation from the same screen. Player list functions similarly to your friends list, in that you'll see a big list of people playing on the same server as you. Of course, you'll also have your friends list too, so no matter where or how you're playing, you can still message your favorite people in game.
So it's still connected to the Jagex servers somehow because
Yes, you can still message.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Character perimeters. So we've seen a lot of.
Parameters.
I want to quit. We've seen a lot of discussion around how you'd like to set up your world, whether you're limiting the skills people can train, setting everyone to Ultimate Iron, or any number of other crazy ideas. The character portion of the world creation screen will help you do all this and more. I actually think that the screen looks kind of nice, very easy to understand,
Yeah,
very easy to click stuff, so I like that.
I guess so.
You'll also be able to set minimum and maximum level for skills, Ironman status, quest and achievement during completion, and even unlock music tracks. So you can also have the option to let any players in your world choose these options yourself, which is weird. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, what did it say?
You can let people, like players joining, choose all these parameters themselves. But then everyone will be different.
I feel like that's maybe like if you allow that to happen.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you can have the option to.
Yeah, yeah, that's why.
But just kind of weird that you do that and then someone else could give themselves everything.
Well, I don't know. I think it would
Depends
be.
what your world is for. If you're just for fun.
I think like maybe they're saying like if you allow it, you can have any number of like, let's say again going back to like the 50 level,
Yeah.
the max level 50. Maybe you can choose to be like, all right, you can select anything up to 50. We don't really care what it
Oh,
is.
that's true. Like set little rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you can start at 50. It's like maybe if it's like a sped up server, they're like depending on which skill you like training. Maybe you don't like training rune crafting, so you can start at level 50 or whatever skill you like doing at level 50 because it's not like a super rules based server.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, oh, I want a head start, so maybe I'll do this like 30 because woodcutting's boring or
Also, I think I'm just thinking of it how I would want the server to be, which is everyone's the same, which is not how
Yeah.
everyone would want their server to be.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's personal preference. Maybe you like that. I'm sorry, I'm a
Maybe
hater.
it could be like a custom PvP world, and they're
Mhm.
all like, "Oh, I feel like making a berserker account," and then the next person that logs in like, "Oh, I want to do a range pure account,"
Yeah.
and then you would obviously want different stats for that. So I guess that would make sense.
Okay. Next up is world parameters. So they do go into some of the ideas that they have so far. First being white bank and inventory on death. So we want you to play exactly how you want community servers, and that means inflicting bank and inventory wipes on death, then so be it. This setting means that everything the players have gathered will be gone permanently if they die. No reclaiming from the gravestone or death's coffer. Our initial pitch is that this should include all your items forever, although we're open to giving players the option to save some of their most valuable from Oblivion if requested. Next is Lose XP on death. That used to be a Leagues one, right? Or Deadman mode?
I don't know.
I feel like it used to be something. I don't know if I'm just making that up.
Oh no, that's Dead Man.
Deadman,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Losing items is one thing, but if you really want to be mean, you can wipe players' XP on death too. Eventually, we plan to make this parameter granular, allowing you to set either partial XP loss or lock you to certain skills, so it'll be adjustable.
Yeah, granular just means precise.
Yeah. Reset player save on death. So, rounding off the reset roster, this option forces a complete account reset on death, sending players straight back to Tutorial Island.
Oh, that's funny.
Nuts. This only counts for unsaved deaths, so you could technically like die at Jad, it seems like, but they're also planning on implementing a version where it'll count for any and every single death.
Yeah.
That's kind of like hardcore. That could be fun.
Dude, I just thought about this. Like literally just now based on like hearing about that is I think it'd be kind of cool if on death, let's say it's kind of like taking parts of like Leagues
Mm-hmm.
and parts of like different mods that I've seen for like Skyrim. And for instance, like let's say you're doing like you're Mortania locked, right? Like you wanted to be settled. And so you're halfway through whatever you're doing and then you die. It'd be cool if you kept everything and like your bank is the same, but then now you're locked to a different continent.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
And then maybe you can like try
So
and
like
manipulate.
some of the stuff you have, you don't even really need anymore.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe some of the stuff like drops when you die to make it like more interesting. Maybe
Yeah.
something like that, or maybe you can only keep what's on you. But then like it's like, oh, maybe because then there's like the tech of like maybe dying on purpose to see what you get next.
Yeah, that's fun.
That'd
I
be
like
kind
that
of
idea.
interesting.
Next, easy, disable banking. Just make it so people can't use banks.
Yeah.
Like an
Ultimate stuff. Yeah.
It says you can still make it so people to trade and use other storage methods. It would just be banks.
That'd be kind of interesting because then
Yeah.
it's like in between, kind of like how Bronze Man's like an in between
I was
thing.
literally just thinking how Bronzeman Loki sounds fun.
Bronze Man does sound really fun.
It does sound fun, right?
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, the way you play Bronze Man is technically like let's say you cannot buy things like just like an Iron Man. You can use your bank like normal, but you can't buy things unless you have picked it up before.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you have a rapier, then that means that you have picked it up. Even if you have sold it, that's fine.
You can buy a billion rapiers
You can now go and buy it because you have picked it up before.
So if you want to use Karam ones, you have to go fish at least one before you can buy them.
Exactly. But like if you have a bunch of
think it's
money
interesting.
and you don't want to sit there and fish Karam ones forever, you can go buy a billion of them as long as you've
Yeah.
done the quest and done it once.
Bronzeman sounds nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like in between. So you could do
Yeah.
like an in between UIM type of deal.
Yeah, I think it sounds fun. There's plugins for that, by the way. I haven't tried any, so I don't know how well they work, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they work. It's been established for a long time.
Yeah. Next up would be disable gold or platinum. So this one remove the use of any gold or platinum in the game, taking us back to when West Varrock was a lively trading hub. I mean, you needed gold then. Oh, you could literally only trade with stuff. Barter and trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Disable picking up ground irons. This one prevents players from picking up anything an iron can't. With other elements of the world left open, this could create interesting new ways to find and acquire certain items. So iron in a weird way, but you can still sell stuff after you pick it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Disable the use of slot equipment.
Oh, like no offhands or something?
Yeah, this option is granular, so you can block any number of equipment slots. How many of you can take on Jad barehanded? Time to find out.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have something like no helmet, because then, yeah, I don't know, I don't know, like interesting stuff like that. Like if you find like an interaction that's kind of weird and people don't think about it until they get to it.
I don't know. They very creative ideas. Oh, we actually have one more. I'm sorry. Basic gathering resources don't respawn after gathering. What a title. This makes the world of Gielinor a little more realistic and turns the deforestation of Lumbridge into a reality. This parameter stops gathering nodes such as trees, fishing spots, and so on from respawning, forcing you to carefully manage your resources and use them sparingly.
That sounds really dumb.
That sounds hard, but like kind of funny.
But also, I mean, the thing is, it takes thousands of logs to like level up, so I don't even know how that's realistic at all.
I think you would have to boost the XP in that world.
Yeah, it would have to be like 10,000 times
if
boosted.
If it was boosted XP, or if it's like a temporary world, that would be kind of funny for like a competition.
Yeah.
Like Gielinor Games or something.
I don't know if that would be like cool or not, because then you'd also probably have to limit vendoring, because I would just buy like a million potatoes or something.
What would you do with potatoes? Oh, you don't have to cook them.
Because, well, I mean, if you can't fish, you can't really get your own food in an Iron Man situation. So
Oh, yeah,
you'd probably
yeah.
go buy cheese potatoes from the Warriors Guild.
Also, you do have to bake potatoes. I don't know why I said you don't.
Yeah.
I'm a liar. Anyway, yeah, that is it for the Zanaris progress blog. They do have a survey on here for you to share your thoughts on what you think. And I think that you could also go and like probably send more submissions, ideas for what they should
Yeah.
add.
Yeah.
This is just like baby updates, you guys. Very early. They said there's going to be more updates next month even. So I think there's hopefully going to be a lot more customizability.
Yeah, it's probably literally like exactly a year out from,
Mm-hmm.
if I had to guess, from being like even remotely an
Yeah.
actual thought.
I think it's going to take a long time unless they make it scuffed, which hopefully they just wait a long time instead.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm ever going to do those unless someone I know is hosting. I know myself, I'm never going to pay for that.
I'm never gonna pay for that. It does sound interesting, but
If someone else is
also
paying.
I was thinking of it, and if I wanted to think of it in like a negative way, I could easily be like, oh, so instead of actually just doing leagues themselves, they want us to put on our own leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Oh,
mean,
I won't think of it that way because that is very negative.
yeah, I mean that is exactly what they will allow you to do,
Yeah.
but you'd have to also be paying for
Well,
it.
then you
So it's
can
like,
customize leagues how you want. If you're like, I don't like that they did this,
yeah,
you could
yeah,
change
you
it.
could. I mean, if that's what you want to do.
But yeah, that was it for the Project Zanaris. We can move on to the Q&A.
Yeah, we can move on to the Q&A.
So, a couple questions this week. I thought it'd be funny though if we first answered that question on the Gielinor Gazette that you guys just heard about, but we heard about yesterday. That RuneScape was asking the community. What
Okay.
is the scariest thing you've ever done in old school RuneScape?
The scariest thing I've ever done in old school RuneScape.
I already know mine if you want me to answer first.
Yeah, it was to log in.
Oh my god, that is such a dumb answer.
Okay.
You had to have a better answer.
All right, go ahead.
I it was several things. I'll just say one. Working on my wilderness diaries, I used to be very afraid of the wilderness. I don't know if you remember, Robert, but I would be like very tense because I low-key just like didn't know how the drops work. Like I didn't know how it worked when you died. So
Yeah.
I was very afraid all the time and would never bring anything. I used to feel like I was playing a scary game whenever like I see people spawn, like the panic I'd feel. And now I'm very like whatever. I've gone PK'd so many times and escaped so many PKers that I don't mind anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to think that the wilderness was genuinely really scary like 6 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was so cool how scared I was. How
Um,
about you?
I mean, I don't like this. I don't know. There's nothing scary in this game. Probably the closest thing to being like even remotely scared is,
Or tense?
um, like just in general the way that the old death system used to work. That was pretty scary at times. For anyone that doesn't know, like back in the day, I mean, not even that long ago, whenever you would die, you would have 15 minutes to go get your body.
Oh yeah, Death's Coffer or Death's
Death's Coffer
Domain
didn't.
is nice.
Yeah, Death's Domain didn't exist. Death's Coffer didn't. I don't think that existed, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so like you just had to go to your grave, and you had 15 minutes to go get your stuff.
It's kind of scary.
If not, it would just drop to the floor, and then after however long
It would despawn.
stuff drops to the floor normally, it would despawn.
Okay,
So
that's true. That was kind of stressful.
yeah, that's the only like. I mean, this isn't a scary game, so I mean that's probably the closest thing that's was actually scary.
Yeah. Okay, other questions.
Questions.
First is from Harger on Discord. Harger started out with a disclaimer. I am in no way promoting selling OSRS accounts for real world money. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want that theme on your podcast, but we're also going to answer this because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and it would be unrealistic to pretend that you can't go and buy an OSRS account right now.
I don't know where to, though.
You definitely can.
Yeah. What would you value the following accounts at in USD if they were to be illegally sold for real life money? We'll start out with the first. All 99s, but barely over the minimum XP required for 99. Freshly maxed account. I have absolutely no context in how much this would cost. I want to say $200.
Yeah, I was gonna say
less?
that's probably like a good starting point. I would say more, just because of the amount of time required for all 99s.
Yeah.
So probably like 400.
How much does anything cost? I need context. How much does an Inferno Cape cost?
An Inferno Cape costs like $200, I think.
And those people probably grind like crazy.
I think it's
Okay.
around $200, or it could be 200 mil.
That is not much.
Because they trade in GP.
Yeah.
So No, it might be 2 bill. I forget. I remember it as being two something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was either $200 or 2 bill, something like that. It was like a lot of money, but not like an insane amount of money.
Less than I would have expected. I guess that some people go
It,
crazy on Inferno.
I definitely don't think it was 2 bill. I think it was like around $200 worth of money or gold or something.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna change mine to like 350. I do want to look it up and see now.
Yeah.
Next is all skills at 98 and within 1000 XP of level 99.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
I think well, for if you want to celebrate getting max, so you could tell people you got max.
Yeah, I guess so. Probably like a similar price.
I think it'd be a little bit less.
Because I think it's all like time based. So yeah, I think it would maybe even be more expensive
So people could
because
have their little party.
yeah, because you can just mindlessly get 99s, but like purposely stopping might take even more effort for
Yeah.
someone. So probably maybe even more.
Really, I think a little bit less.
So yeah, maybe like 450, 425.
All skills at 200 mil.
That's a lot.
That's thousands.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I think that's legitimately thousands.
Yeah, all 200 is 4.6 billion. So
I would say $5,000.
yeah,
More?
uh,
I don't know. I should have
think
looked up
less.
how much they actually cost.
The thing is, like, realistically, you'd be paying like essentially slave wages for this, so probably like 2 grand.
Really?
Well,
It's just crazy to think how much time someone put into that.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be super proportional. So I guess probably like maybe 3 grand at
What's
the
a
most.
shady website? I want to look this up.
I mean, you could just Google exists, right? So
Yeah. Okay, I'm not getting totally clear answers, but I see one that's a GIM max that's $4,000.
okay, so I mean,
They have 15 pets though.
yeah, generally, kind of. Actually, we were like,
It scales a lot.
yeah, we're actually fairly accurate with what we guessed.
I mean, not with that one, but that was a hardcore. I said, huh?
No, that was a GIM.
Oh, was it GIM? Yeah, it wasn't even a hardcore. They're worth more than I expected.
Okay, well, okay, never mind. I thought you were saying it was worth. I thought it was a max account.
No, they just said, I mean, like, not 200 mil, but just like regular max.
Yeah, regular max. Okay.
It's weirdly hard to find exactly what I'm looking for.
So it seems like we were off by one magnitude as far as prices go. So in general, it seems, and this is just for random
One
things.
website, one listing. Like,
Yeah, like if you wanted to look it up more, obviously you could. I don't recommend it because
yeah, don't get in trouble.
that entirely defeats the purpose of the game. You might as well actually just literally go play something else if this is the point you've gotten to. Because this,
There's ones that are $10 and just 60 range.
there you go. I mean, yeah. For some people, money is time. I guess
7 kids, 3 jobs.
I think it's only, and I've seen this before, and obviously other games know this, which is why games like World of Warcraft sells gold.
Yeah.
So, because some people make legitimately like $500+ an hour, and they just like playing World of Warcraft when they can. So they're
Oh my God.
willing to pay that price. They don't care. But for most normal people, this just entirely defeats the purpose of playing the game.
Yeah, like that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone sells 200 mil all accounts. I don't even think that's a thing.
Yeah,
I
feel
cannot
like
find that.
I feel like that's such a rarity that you'd probably have to custom order it. And like I said, I think we were probably about one magnitude off. So that means that
a lot
that
more.
account is probably worth like 20 grand
Yeah, it's
instead
worth
of
a lot more.
instead of 2 grand, because a fully maxed account was worth 2 grand, and I think we said like 200.
But it was on a GIM with pets. So
Still.
I think that adds value. I don't know what adds value. A lot of the accounts on there, though, are PKing accounts, which is kind of funny.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's the majority of the people buying accounts, right?
I
is
didn't realize. I
PvP.
didn't really think about it, to be
No one's
honest.
gonna be like, oh, I wish I had a 92 all skilling account, like,
Yeah.
or I wish I had a berserker skilling account.
Because I was searching max, and they were like max med. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's just by far the most bought account.
Yeah.
And the easiest to make because it has a very particular set of skills that need to be done
Okay,
in
you
a
saw
particular
your
way.
taken.
Yeah, I mean that's literally
Literally
a particular set of skills at a particular level, so
Yeah.
it's easy to make. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying your account. It only takes like a week or two to make a Peking account.
And
So
don't get in trouble. And we also should say we're not promoting selling it either. I just was curious how much it costs.
yeah, if anything, I'm
buying.
I'm de-promoting it. It's a waste of time and money, and you could just do it yourself, and it would be like almost as easy.
They have
So
7 kids and 5 jobs, so
yeah, I mean, if you're buying
speak for
$8,000
yourself.
in like candles every month, then maybe you should just do
My
something
family is
else.
dying. Will someone in the go to the economy help me? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Um,
Anyway, last question this week is from Matt on Discord. Should there be more criminal NPCs in OSRS? These will be highly intelligent NPCs. They will actually assess the risk of attempting to rob you, depending on what weapons or armor you're equipping or who is around to help. Also, they won't attack players that have nothing valuable, like noobs. Then they will attack, sometimes in gangs, to try and steal your stuff. If you feel like you might die, you can forfeit money or items to them. They don't want to kill you, they just want valuable things. These are most common in remote areas like the desert, swamp, woodlands, or wilderness. That's just a
okay.
clan. That's just a
Oh.
Peking clan.
Well, I mean,
Just kidding,
yeah.
they want to kill you. They don't
Yeah.
even care if you have a spade.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think this is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was reading about how some people were like, "Oh, I wish there was more NPCs like the Highwaymen."
Yeah, the highwaymen, when you're like a baby character, they can mess you up.
Yeah.
And they're aggressive for no reason. They're like, rah, 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 like yelling at you.
Yeah. So I think something like that could be cool. I don't know how you would, program it because like you could do like based on how much time someone spends in a certain area and how much they've walked or something like that. But then like I don't want it to be like botted.
Yes. I also don't think that they should necessarily steal your valuable stuff, but just that they're like more aggressive NPCs when you're higher level, maybe.
Yeah, I think they should just kill you, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's anything that needs to be done
I don't
beyond
want to have to
that.
offer them my scythe.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool if it was based on the total price of gear you were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe also based on your skill level as well, because if you're wearing like full gilded or something, you don't want to get attacked by like a max level character if you're low level.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that would be cool if they dropped something interesting in
Anything in
return.
particular?
Because like obviously highwaymen drop nothing, right? So it's like
They have nothing. That's why they're highwaymen.
yeah, exactly.
They're
But
living on the highway.
if they like were attacking you with like something of value, like a dragon weapon or something, and then they had a chance to drop the dragon weapon, that was actually like a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
Then that would be cool because it is an inconvenience, right?
To be attacked.
Yes,
Yeah.
obviously.
They have to have something okay. Because that's like part of the best, one of the best things about getting higher level is all these NPCs kind of stop attacking you.
Yeah.
Has to have a good reason to attack you.
But if like you're, gonna go kill like whatever, like Bandos, and then like you get attacked by a level 200 mob, and you have to use resources to kill them, assumedly.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if you just have to use overheads, it's kind of annoying, and so it's like you should potentially get something like an alchable item or something.
I just don't know how it wouldn't be botted.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it would have to be random enough, and it would have to be only in certain areas, probably, but also better for higher level accounts.
Definitely not multiplayer. So you can like
Well,
cannon them.
no, yeah, obviously. So yeah, I think like let's say you're a max account, maybe you can drop a D sim,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't a huge amount of money, but it's like maybe worth your time stopping if you have
Yeah.
extra space.
It needs to be more like a random event,
Yeah, yeah,
but like not deadly like the chicken used to be.
yeah.
I don't know how it would work. I
think
don't like the idea of them straight up stealing you and you have to bribe them though.
no,
That's too much.
no. Yeah, I could see it also being like maybe a random event.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they take you away to a place or something and they like take your items and you have to do like a breakout or
Maybe it
something
could be
like
optional
that.
like the quiz one is.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe something like that, but I don't really see a way of the stealing working
Mm-hmm.
without it being like super dumb.
It would be a gold sink though. They do love gold sinks.
Yeah, if they just steal your most valuable item and you can't do anything about it, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be very upsetting.
Yeah, no one would ever walk around with an equipped scythe or equipped Tebow. I think it's cool though, potentially, if there was something like a highwayman in higher level areas.
Yeah, I think there's some areas like the swamp and desert and woodlands that could use more NPCs wandering around.
Yeah. Or
Especially
maybe
parts of the desert are so empty.
they could make it so like it's such a rare event that like the enemy actually drops something valuable and like maybe you're on your way to Bandos and this dude pops up to try to kill you and you're like, "Oh, hell yeah, dude. Like that's my birthday cuz this guy showed up to try to kill me."
I don't know, because it couldn't be too good, no? It'd have to be like
Obviously,
a
it
mill.
wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah,
It's not
something like a mill, because like that's how much the steel baguette is.
I think you're thinking of like like a huge amount of money, but like
Mm-hmm.
anything that's more than like 500k
Is worth
is
stopping
is
for.
is definitely worth stopping for like 99% of the player base.
Yeah.
So like even if it was like a mil, if you made a mil an hour doing anything, that's like not bad. So it's like I don't know. It wouldn't have to be crazy, but if it was like
Something worth
pretty
stopping.
good or fairly collectible, that would be cool.
Make it a collection log slot, then everyone will do it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Easy.
I think that would actually not be a good idea, but yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Cool. That's it for our Q&A this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you want to do our outro?
Yeah,
I love your
of
call. If you guys are on
course.
YouTube, by the way, he looks very interesting.
It's fine. But yeah, that's it for this week. Nothing to talk about because of the game jam, but hopefully next week we have some game jam
We
stuff
have
to
stuff to talk
discuss.
about.
So that'll be interesting to look forward to. But with that being said, that is going to be it for us. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, you can ask us questions like just in this last part, or feel free to just tune in. And the best place to find us is going to be on our social media.
Yeah, so our Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. Our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. And I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebapes. Nope, I stream 4 days a week now, actually.
Yeah, I was like,
Whoops.
what?
So come stop by and hang out. I'm doing Squishy's Bingo this weekend. I'm only going to be live for one night of that. No, I'm going to be live for 2 nights of that. So,
Liar.
yeah, you might be right. It's one. It's
Yeah.
one. On
Um,
Friday, so come stop by.
but that's it. Thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all.
Very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.